There's a reason why France is the most visited country on the planet. Not only does it boast some of the most exquisite wines and cuisine in the world, but also some of the most beautiful destinations. Wherever you travel, there are countless scenes that will take your breath away, from rolling vineyards and plunging canyons, to towering sand dunes and majestic villages. There is more than enough to satisfy curious travelers. But with so much to see and do, choosing which places to visit in France can feel overwhelming. Number 1. Champagne, home of Dom Pérignon. A roundup of the best places to visit in France wouldn't be complete without mentioning the birthplace of bubbly. Located in the northeast of France, just a 1.5 hours drive from Paris, the Champagne region is an absolute must-visit for anyone who loves to sip on bubbles. Just watching the sun set over the idyllic rolling vineyards and dreamy landscape is reason enough to visit the region. That said, those who do wish to sample the fruits of the land can embark on a tour of one of the prestigious champagne houses. And this is sure to make for an unforgettable experience, or perhaps not if they choose to overindulge. Number 2. Provence, land of lavender. Every summer, the seemingly endless ocean of lavender fields makes Provence one of the most beautiful, fragrant places to visit in France. The heavenly scented crop can be found almost everywhere in the region during this time. Some of the most scenic spots to enjoy include the Valensole Plateau, the Sous Plateau, and the Luberon Valley. For the ultimate postcard shot, nothing beats the flower fields surrounding the Notre Dame de Senonque Abbey. Nestled in the tranquil countryside near the village of Gorges, the stunning 12th-century church is shrouded in a sea of purple every June and July. Along with the local honeybees, these beautiful lavender fields are lovingly tended by the monks that live in the abbey. In fact, visitors can even stay with them and enjoy a serene spiritual retreat. Number 3. Gorges du Verdon, the Grand Canyon of France. If a trip to the Grand Canyon in Arizona feels like too much of a stretch, then you could always settle for its French counterpart. Nestled in the Provence Alpes Côte d'Azur region of southeastern France, the 700-meter-deep Gorges du Verdon is a truly breathtaking sight to behold. Carved by the Verdon River, the plunging limestone canyon is the largest in Europe. It is also a hotspot for adrenaline-fueled activities and water sports. Cruising along the 25 kilometers long stretch of mesmerizing turquoise waters that flow into the artificial Lac de Sainte-Croix is a truly unforgettable experience. More adventurous travelers might prefer to brave whitewater rafting along the rapids. A more relaxing day can be spent hiking around the 100 kilometers rim of the canyon, or hopping on horseback and weaving your way through the vertical limestone cliffs. Number 4. Mont Saint-Michel, the real Rapunzel's tower. France is home to many beautiful villages, however, few are as enchanting and otherworldly as Mont Saint-Michel, with its majestic abbey. Perched high on the rocky island of Mont Saint-Michel, some 600 meters off the coast of Normandy, the striking medieval monastery looks like something lifted straight from the pages of a children's fairy tale. This is made all the more magic by the narrow, winding streets and pretty timbered framed houses that lead up to it. In fact, the magnificent setting actually inspired Rapunzel's tower and the Kingdom of Corona in Disney's Tangled movie. Great Christian pilgrim site back in the 8th century, today, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that attracts more than 3 million tourists a year. Needless to say, it remains one of the most popular places to visit in France, outside of Paris. It becomes completely secluded when the tides are very high, adds even more to its mystery. Thankfully, most travelers today can reach the island by crossing a 2,500-foot-long bridge. If they are feeling adventurous, they can traverse the treacherous mudflats when the ocean recedes during low tide. Number 5. Dune du Pilat, Europe's tallest sand dune. Nature lovers will no doubt enjoy lapping up the breathtaking 360-degree views from the top of the Dune du Pilat, the tallest sand dune in Europe, located in Le Testi de Bouc, in the Arcachon Bay area. The magnificent natural wonder is one of the most iconic places to visit in France. Every year, more than 1 million people come to climb the 154 wooden steps to the top, and walk along the 2.7 kilometers long ridge. And with the sparkling Atlantic Ocean on one side, and deep green pine forests on the other, the effort is certainly worth it. Indeed, the towering dune offers some of the most beautiful natural views in Europe. Dune du Pilat is also a hotspot for paragliders and other outdoor sports enthusiasts. Number 6. Saint-Tropez, land of luxury. If you're seeking the decadent life, or at least looking to dabble your toes in it, then a visit to Saint-Tropez is definitely in order. This beautiful sun-drenched coastal resort on the French Riviera is, after all, renowned for its designer boutiques and immaculate sandy beaches, not to mention yacht-hopping celebrities. Originally a sleepy fishing village on the Côte d'Azur, the small town became a land of luxury in the late 19th century, thanks to Impressionist painter Paul Signac and other great artists like Henri Matisse and Albert Marquette. It wasn't until Hollywood bombshell Brigitte Bardot strutted onto the scene in the 1950s, Saint-Tropez gained international fame. The resort was the setting of her film, Et Dieu créa la femme, and God created woman. Despite its reputation as being a playground for the wealthy, the town still manages to retain its original charm, especially if you visit out of the high season. Beyond the glitz and the glamour, older locals still play boulet in the Place des Lycées. Others, meanwhile, sip on café au lait along the picturesque harbor. And whether you want to sun yourself on the famous Pampelon beach, explore the 6 quaint villages on the rocky Saint-Tropez peninsula, or lap up fantastic views from the hilltop town of Rapunzel, there is plenty to fill your day. Number 7. Rocamadour, the sacred hilltop pilgrimage. There's a reason why the enchanting hilltop village of Rocamadour is the second most visited attraction in France, after Mont Saint-Michel. Perched high on the side of a limestone cliff, overlooking the Alzo Canyon, in the Dordogne region, the sacred village is nothing less than majestic. This UNESCO-listed medieval town was once an important pilgrimage site and famous for its sanctuaries. It is also home to a 15th-century statue of the Black Madonna which stands within the chapel of Notre Dame. Visitors can explore the chapel, along with 7 other religious buildings, after climbing the 216 steps, Le Grand Escalier, to the square at the top. Amazingly, these were once climbed by pilgrims on their knees. From the top of the village, the views of Rocamadour, the Alzo Canyon, and the wild and unspoiled landscape down below, are second to none. Number 8. The Loire Valley, the Garden of France. Often referred to as the Garden of France, the Loire Valley was once the stomping ground of French royalty and nobility. Today, however, it is one of the most iconic places to visit in France and open to all. This is owing to its 300 elaborate chateaux, some of which date back as far as the 9th century. Unsurprisingly, many of these have been listed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. With its stunning French architecture and surrounding deer-filled park, Château of Chambord, for instance, is considered to be one of the most beautiful in the valley. The Château de Chenonceau is revered for its unique mix of Gothic and Renaissance architecture, which hovers over the Cher River. And the fairy-tale-like Château de Sully-sur-Loire, which has played host to several famous historical figures including Joan of Arc and Louis XIV, offers a more medieval beauty. Of course, with so many beautiful chateaux to explore, you might want to mix things up by visiting one of the numerous vineyards throughout the region. After all, the valley is famous for its world-class wines, with many local winemakers inviting the public to tour their cellars and sample their creations. Number 9. Auvergne, the land that time forgot. Nestled in the heart of central France, the Auvergne Volcanoes Regional Nature Park is the largest volcanic ensemble in Europe, and a relic of the prehistoric age. Covering 395,000 hectares of land, the park is home to 4 volcanic massifs. Reaching an altitude of 1,465 meters, the Puy de Dôme is the highest volcano in the region. Visitors from all over the world come to admire these sleeping giants which have laid dormant for thousands of years. The peaks are also popular for hiking, cycling, and hot air ballooning. The ancient volcanoes are also home to natural hot springs and mineral waters, making them a popular thermal spa destination. In fact, this is where Vichy, Vaudois, and Volvic water comes from. Aside from this, there are many medieval towns, abbeys, and castle ruins to explore in the region, making this a great option for a relaxing getaway in France. Number 10. Corsica, the island of beauty. Step onto the beautiful, Mediterranean island of Corsica, and you might soon forget which country you are in. After all, its unique location between France and Italy means that it embraces the best of both cultures. The famous birthplace of Napoleon certainly lives up to its nickname, the Island of Beauty. Stylish coastal towns, rocky granite peaks, and pristine forests give it a beautiful, yet wild appeal. With 1,000 kilometers of heavenly turquoise coastline to explore, it is also a hotspot for snorkeling and scuba diving. Those who prefer to sunbathe can do so on one of the island's many pristine beaches. Despite its international appeal, the picturesque island of Corsica has managed to retain its own culture and charm. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel.